Okay, this is part of my series, You Meet the Nicest People with a GoPro. I'm John, and this is
Mark Thomas.
Mark Thomas. Mark, reason I'm doing this video, I want to know what you're doing here in Kandahar. How did you get to this out-of-the-way place?
Well, this is my second trip here to Kandahar. I was here originally from 2004 to 2007, working as a contractor. So this is my second go around here.
Second go around here. Well, what's your background? What did you do to prepare you for this type of work?
I was in the military. I was in the 160th. That was one of my units. My second unit, the first, I was in an infantry unit in Berlin, Germany. There I gained my logistics background, and it's been able to translate here.
Okay, you were part of the Berlin Brigade, is that what it's called?
Yes.
3,000 people, if I'm not mistaken?
That I'm not aware of, but I know I was one of the last people there because I think 1994, President Clinton came and deactivated the unit.
Right, so, there was no need for it anymore.
Yeah, it was deactivated, and from there I went to Fort Campbell.
Okay, and you went through Checkpoint Charlie countless times?
I've gone to Checkpoint Charlie, went down to the Kudamm, visited the Siegelsäule, Brandenburg Gate, saw the Reichstag, all that stuff.
And how did the East Germans treat you? I mean, they couldn't have been used to seeing many people of color in East Germany.
Well, by the time I got there, of course, the wall came down, I believe, in '88 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess I got there in '93. So from '88 to '93, there was interactions with the troops of color. So it wasn't that big a deal. Now, when I got deployed from there to Macedonia in '93 as well, that was a big deal. I had a 6 month deployment to Macedonia, and I had a friend of mine, Specialist Wise. I'll never forget him. Tall black guy, bald head. Everyone thought he was Michael Jordan. Yeah, we went downtown Skopje in Macedonia.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was running up to us, signing autographs. He was signing autographs. Everyone thought he was Michael Jordan.
They actually believed he was Michael Jordan?
They thought he was Michael Jordan, yes, because he was tall and he was bald. They thought he was Michael Jordan.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember we were having pizza at one of the pizzerias downtown, and we had some people, they joined us, some local Macedonians. They came, they sat down, and they just talked to us, and they said, "We've never seen black people, and we just think you're so beautiful. Only on television we've seen you, and this is the first time we've actually met a black person in person, and they say you're beautiful." That was
wow,
that blows your mind. Yeah, it blows your mind.
Now, you mentioned the 160th Aviation Regiment, that's SOAR.
SOAR. Mm-hmm.
That is a rather hardcore regiment, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to, you don't get orders to 160th per se. You get orders to Green Platoon.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, you go through Green Platoon, you have to accomplish that school before you can officially call yourself a Night Stalker.
Okay.
So yeah, and a lot of people don't make it to Green Platoon. As a matter of fact, my brother was showing me some special one, like Discovery or something, the hardest schools in the military.
Mm-hmm. Oh, making the cut.
Making the cut, I guess. And Green Platoon was one of the episodes.
Okay. Yeah, for those who don't know, the 160th Aviation Regiment, that carries the best aviators in the Army. They do a lot of special operations stuff. They drop off SEALs, Rangers, Special Forces, and Delta Force for that matter.
Force, PJs as well, Air Force, pararescue jumpers as well.
Okay, and they operate all over the world doing a lot of secret stuff that I'm sure Mark can't talk about, so I'm not going to inquire. Okay. And so what are you doing now?
Right now I'm here as a billeting supervisor for the company we work for. And right now we're just preparing for the drawdown.
Right, okay. Hey Mark, do you see that cabinet behind you?
Yes.
That used to have everything in there from 30 millimeter rounds, 30 millimeter 25, 40 millimeter grenades, 50 caliber, all stuff that people left in the rooms before they shipped out. It was a pretty incredible collection. They also had quite a knife collection, but I'm sure they kept those knives and took them with them.
Probably.
They were quite interested in knives. I found 3 throwing knives, and I brought them to the sergeant. I thought they might go on the display. No, they took them. That was real neat. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people at home in, I believe it's Lake Charles, Louisiana?
Yes, that's where I was born. I live in Clarksville, Tennessee now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd like to say?
This is Afghanistan.
This is Afghanistan. Yeah, actually, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I can say I've been to Afghanistan, but I've not been outside the base.
I have.
You have, yeah. And so, if somebody asked me, had I been to Afghanistan, I would have to qualify it. Say, yes, I've been to a large American military base,
Yes.
NATO military base in the country. I've not taken a footstep outside, although we used to take our van to get serviced, our minibus, right outside the wire.
Right.
And I wanted to get on that list, but it shut down before I could.
I've been all over the country. I've flown out west, Herat, beautiful. We used to drive up north from Kabul to Samangan, Kunduz, Mazar Sharif. And as you drive up, you drive through Salong Pass. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
What were you doing driving around?
Well, my second contract with the company we worked for, I was a logistics coordinator. So we had teams all over the country, demining teams that we'd have to go and made sure that they had everything they needed, supplies, so on and so forth. I do inventories, things of that nature.
My goodness, demining. I remember speaking to a couple of young guys that did route clearance. I spoke to them in the coffee shop, and this is probably 2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The losses they told me about that they took doing their job, I felt for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, these guys are something else, real patriots.
I don't know if this is still the case, but at one point, Afghanistan had the most unaccounted for landmines in the world.
That's real easy to believe.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's still the case. I would imagine it is. I know Laos has quite a few as well.
Right. Now, when I was up at Bagram, there were a lot of controlled deaths, just like there are on any base here. Mm-hmm. But I know that a lot of those controlled deaths were landmines. Yes. They were building a road, and so they were constantly uncovering mines and unexploded munitions.
Right.
There's a place on Bagram called the Tuna Bridge, and there's a little plaque next to the bridge. Somebody saw something silver in the ground, right, and the names of the people who discovered it are on the plaque. And they went and they called EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal Team. They came out and gingerly uncovered the device, and it was a can of tuna. Hence, the bridge is known as the Tuna Bridge. Anyway, Mark, thank you very much for this interview. You can find this on the internet at You Meet the Nicest People with a GoPro. I appreciate it, and that's it.
Hey, my pleasure.